welcome to Search on TV.
Hello everyone. The following videos are declamation speeches talking about different societal problems that are present, timely, and relevant in this day and age. The following societal problems, namely poverty, discrimination, justice system, educational system, climate change, and corruption. Take a glance at me. I am member of the masses, a segment of society that several disparage. Why can't they think that I'm human too? That I feel the same way they do? You need to be thinking of something. Why aren't you responding to me? I'm sure you have something in mind. Where is their moral compass? They step on me as if I were garbage. I had done nothing wrong at all. Was it a mistake that I live in a community where all the people is poor after I arrive in this world? I'm a poor girl. Was it a mistake that I was born poor? Tell me now, before you judge me, consider this one thing. I've got a choice. I've been robbed of all opportunities in life. People look down on me because I'm too filthy, too stinking, too poor. I've got a heart. Yes, please. My heart is golden. Every penny I get from begging goes towards helping my family to survive. So how about you? What does one do to feed your family? Are you certain that you employed hard enough to earn more money? Are you certain that the cash you receive didn't come from a shady scheme utilized by other dishonest politicians to have more power? Are you able to honestly look your child within the eyes and show them with a clean and transparent conscience? Have you ever considered that the cash you utilize to feed your family is the results of your diligence and a career you'll not be happy with all the time? You appear flawless and clean on the skin, but deep within your soul, I'm aware you just have flaws. And take a glance at me. I am just a poor girl, appealing for mercy from people such as you to feed my family and my fellow community to survive. But I've never turned my back on anyone. I never took anything from anyone or used someone to raise our lives. I've got a good night's sleep. Are you able to do it? I do not believe so. With an dishonest conscience and a slip up like that, you'll never get a good night's sleep. You do not have the right to even a transparent head and a lightweight heart.
You there, listen to this. There are 2,200 courts nationwide, one court per 50,000 people. That doesn't quite sound right, does it? With that staggering statistic, wouldn't you go ballistic? If you compare this ratio with developed nations, wouldn't it cause you any frustration? The low conviction rate, court cases taking years to be resolved, the underprivileged having no access to legal services, overcrowded prisons, unjust and prolonged cases, detentions, extrajudicial killings, and gross injustices. These are just a few of the critical problems this system is facing. Where do we draw the line? When does it end? So many unresolved cases, cases that were overlooked, cases that were taken for granted. Listen to our cries for help, for our cries for justice. Look at me. I am just one of the millions of people, of victims of the flawed, biased, corrupt, and slow justice system of the Philippines. The rich and the powerful, they are favored over the poor. This is the ugly truth. Do not try to look away. Do not try to turn a blind side. My truth deserves to be heard. I deserve another shot at life. I am not just another disposable being that could be just thrown away and forgotten. I too am human. I too deserve to be treated as one. The criminal justice system does not see me as one. Basic human rights are not served on the table. When you have the money and the power, you get to outplay the system. You get to manipulate the law. Justice is on your side while people like me continue to suffer even if we play by the rules. Do you think this is right? Do you think that this is fair? I can't help think to myself, how do they sleep well at night knowing millions of people suffer from the bias and corrupt justice system of the Philippines? Justice for all is supposed to mean that the objective of the criminal system is to be for everyone. It means preserving order across the country. It means protecting the innocent, prosecuting offenders, and establishing a fair justice system. In other words, it should keep us all safe. The prison is replete with stories of justice not served. Do you think justice even exists? Now, I am begging you, hear our plea. Treat us as we deserve.
First and foremost, what is corruption? So, corruption is a form of a crime that refers to dishonesty or taking money from the economy. It's an act of doing evil done by individual or by group. This act violates certain people's rights and their privileges. It is also an unethical method used by a person who has a higher position in the politics to gain advantage from the weaker section. Not only in the politics, it can also happen in barangays and other smaller communities. Nowadays, corruption has become the greatest factors that hinders the developmental and stifling the realization of our democracy. Corruption affects the growth of a nation through a negative way. Why? Because it reduces the government's income that can be resulted into an equal distribution of income and wealth. It can affect economically, financially, and politically. There are many forms of corruption. It can often occur in the politics. One of it is vote buying. I know we all hate the term corruption because we are fantasizing about a corruption-free world. Who wouldn't fantasize a corruption-free world? But since some politicians on a regular basis have been greedy for money and power, corruption has become the major road for the rule of laws and democracy. Political system can lose its legitimacy when power is used for the politicians' own advantages and needs. And today, politics only own criminal and outlawed politicians. Can you see? Elections have become tied to a host of criminals and draconian activities. Politicians use unethical techniques to gain votes from the voters or take money from the economy. Corrupt people and corrupt politicians hide themselves behind the mask of fake truth and fake honesty. The most significant reason for corruption is that it dehumanizes the governing body and even negates the fundamental values of the laws that controls the society. So, to sum it all up, corruption has become the major problem in our society that we have to face. It has become very tense and cannot be deposed not until we take actions and do all the necessary things we have to take just to end this crime. So in these trying times, let us stand, take step, and fight against this corruption.
Education system. Education can make people easy to lead but difficult to drive. Also, it makes easy to govern but impossible to enslave. This is true that without education, a man is a shade better than an animal. Thus, true education is a drawing out of mental faculties and is essential for leading a happy life. The Philippine education system is undoubtedly one of the oldest education systems in the world. Philippines has a great heritage of knowledge, and for many years, knowledge has been flowing throughout. Many scientists, mathematicians, and professionals have done kinds of research, and they even made inventions through it. But on the other hand, the Philippine education system is not the best one, for students are not taking much interest in studies. And there are a lot of factors that affecting our educational system. Let me give you. One is, education is more on slogging and passing examinations than exploration on the knowledge we have. Second is, according to studies and fact-finding commissions, the deteriorating quality of education is due to the following. One is low budget of government for education. Two is lack of teachers in school. Third is inadequate school facilities such as laboratories and libraries. Fourth is poor learning environment. And fifth is the content of curriculum. And sixth is the insufficient books and science equipments as well as classroom shortage. And lastly, the Philippine education system is on the brink of extinction, for a new education system is being proposed. The existing system of 6 years in elementary and 4 years in secondary before entering tertiary are being challenged. In fact, a new and major reform of education system is being proposed. Yes. And because of this, many queries arise. Students, teachers, and parents doubt the effectiveness of K-12. Think of this. Even the educators or teachers doubt the effectiveness of K-12. How about us, students who are being the test experiments of this kind of new curriculum? They should stop this and they should think about this, because not all parents have the capability to educate their students to enroll to school in this kind of curriculum.
Climate change. I've been hearing more and more about climate change lately. I am not an expert and I am not fully aware of all the issues. But what I am concerned about is our planet, and I want to learn more. I've discovered that our world is changing. Every year we are witnessing more extreme weather events such as heat waves, droughts, and flooding, and many more. Part of the reason for this is that Earth's natural habitats are rapidly vanishing. Our planet is dying slowly, and our population is declining. The rich tells us it's a lie, but science proves it's true. There's no denying climate change is occurring. Weather patterns are becoming more and more extreme, and sea levels are rising at a rapid rate. But yet, change is slow. I'd like to try to inspire another human being to push for a change, to push forward, because we can make it happen now. We are the people. We need to come together, stop dividing each other, and focus on our home. Change happens when we come together. We have the power. We must raise our voices every time we come together for a change. We made it happen. We must not waste another day without at least attempting to give the next generation a better chance. We must decide to make this planet a better place to grow and raise our children. Now, what do you decide? Do you want to take control of our future, the future of our next generation, or do you want to leave it in the hands of our inefficient governments? We need to act now because there's only one race on Earth. Humans. Remember that you can make a difference right now by taking action. Taking action to protect our environment is a global challenge to which each and every one of us can contribute, and we must act now. Climate change affects us all. We must also endeavor to adopt a greener and healthier lifestyle on a personal level. This is our planet, our future. We still have a lot to learn about what's going on, what needs to be done, and how we can help. Before ending my declamation, I would like to give a quote from Mahatma Gandhi, where he stated, "Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed."
Excuse me, sir, can you please help me? Ma'am, can you help me? Please? Please listen, I'm just like you. Why won't you help me? I need your help. I've been punched. Why won't you help me? Is it because of the color of my skin? My physical attributes? Or my religious beliefs? Why? Why won't you listen? I'm just like you. I am human too. We are living in a flawed system where racial, religion, and gender biases is imprinted in our norms and is normalized. And your privilege will depend on the type of person you were born. If you're white, you are born to rule the world. If you're a man, you are strong and mighty. The world is not ready for people like us, people of color, people like me. And do you think it's right? Don't touch me, you filthy Asian. You're a terrorist. Go back to your country. The stereotypes and hasty remarks we receive every single day. If you're black, you're a thug. If you're Asian, you bring virus and eat dogs. If you're a woman, you're not skilled and capable enough. If you're gay, lesbian, or a part of the LGBTQ plus community, you are a disgrace to our society. If you're a Muslim, they'll deem you as a terrorist. In the world we live in, people like me are put in a pedestal and are often discriminated. We get discriminated because of our gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, age, disabilities, and more. Our differences in general. All of these arises from prolonged superiority complex, ignorance, and indifference to minorities, and to our differences. Because of these petty reasons, I experience hate crime. You think I deserve it? Don't you think it's unfair? Millions of people like me, are deprived of opportunities because of our gender, religious beliefs, and our differences in general. When will this end? When will this stop? Many people do not always realize the amount of discrimination and inequality we experience on a daily basis. One can define discrimination as an action based on prejudice or racism and can harm a group or individual by means of unequal treatment. And let me tell you this, discrimination is as common and as abundant as corruption in politics and pollution in the air. Every type of discrimination implicates the superiority of a specific group over another group of people. So please, I'm begging you, listen to us, hear us. All we want is equality, the type of equality where equal opportunities is given to everyone, and put an end to the discriminatory actions thrown towards us every single day. Is that too much to ask? It is that our value and worth as individuals is only realized when we set all our differences aside and start embracing and accepting the uniqueness of one another, and combine our individual and unique set of qualities, characteristics, and abilities with those of others in a stable social order. By doing so, we create a society on which the survival of the whole humanity and therefore an achievement of both peace and equality. In short, the society will hold both our value as individuals and our equality arise solely and only from our being unique examples of humanity. From that new perspective, our society will recognize that the principal duty of human society is to preserve and encourage difference between individuals, and will identify our individuality as a characteristic that makes us valuable to each other as well as that we are. No one deserves to be treated badly and get hate crimed. Let's put an end to discrimination and let us start embracing our differences and start accepting our individuality.